Public comments? Public comments, and hi Scott, hi Travis. Okay, anybody have public comments? I do have an agenda item change. If not, economic development, item E, historic driving tour funding request is not going to happen tonight. So that is struck. All right, highway. Travis, give us an update.
So I have a paving update for you guys. I remember I told you I was going to reach out to all states about some issues with the asphalt from last year. And they assured me that they were gonna take care of it free of charge. I will be meeting with him later this week, and we're gonna go from there. So they agreed to take care of it. I just wanted to give you an update.
Excellent. And we have our paving bids out.
They are, and I'll be meeting with him on them as well when we go over what is to be taken care of from last year. Yep.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of Travis, our road commissioner? Okay. Police, an update on the new cruiser.
So, it'll be built May 5th, won't be here till the end of May. That's just letting you know. So since Ford is now redesigning their cars, I was unaware of this. So the blue lights, anything that are in the one we're getting rid of, will not fit into the new one. So with that being said, with an estimate that I've got everything to get new lights, which they'll now be on a 5-year warranty. We're taking stuff out of the old ones into the new one. The warranty would now, obviously it's expired.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple of lights we could use, like the ones on the side, but if they put those in and then they break in a year, we have to buy new ones. Where if we just get new ones now, they're under warranty of 5 years. So just so you know, so the new car is roughly $34,630 to do everything with Global. And this is the company where the guy would come to our office and always interchange it there. And we took it over to New Hampshire to have the graphics put on. They don't come here anymore, so we got to drive it over. I can't remember, I think it's in Hudson, New Hampshire. It's like about 2.5 hours away. They will also do the markings for us at a much discounted rate since they're doing everything. So to do everything with that, that's $9,230. Which puts me at $43,860, and we only have budgeted for the car $41,000. So I'm going to be over budget by $2,860. So with that, the trade-in in the town report is $6,000. We always seem to get more than that. So when I asked what their experiences is, what does agencies do that now they have working, lights and stuff. So one of the guys I talked to said that there's a place online, it's called GovBids. I knew about govdeals.com, which are two different things. And there's, take New York, for example, their fire department, their blue lights. So what you could do is not strip the blue lights out of your old car, maybe put them on one of these websites and bid it out that way. So that one, I'm having Mike look into this while I'm gone. So one that could save us money because now they're not gonna, Global will not charge us for taking everything out. We're gonna leave it in. They'll take out some, the center console and obviously the radio and stuff like that. So that will save us some labor, so that 9,000 could come down. There's also another site, and it's called Municipid. So the other thing that we can do is if it doesn't look like this GovBids thing is gonna work, he's gonna look into it. So we might just leave the blue lights in it and stuff, bring it back, obviously here, if it doesn't look like it's feasible to do, putting the whole car out on a government website, instead of like I normally just stick it out here and we get bids that way. That doesn't work, then what I'll do is we'll just snip the blue lights out of the car, put it here like we have in the past, and then on this municipal bid, whatever it's called, I looked on that, and what some agencies are doing, they've actually taken out, say, their lights and put that on that website and selling them that way.
Okay.
So just giving you an idea that this is a thing in motion, and I'm not sure which way we're going. But we could be, you know, a few thousand over budget and not sure what we're going to be doing with it. So
Tripping it
is
for
there any
parts.
questions?
Okay, sounds like we have options though. So we
We
should
do.
check things out. You probably get, what kind of mileage does that vehicle have?
So this one I think we're getting rid of is somewhere around right now 80,000. And this one we've been putting some money into it, so it's definitely going to get rid of it. And since things are changing, and now that we're knowing that this is happening with the lights, because now this is something that we're going to probably have to now restart looking at when we do the budget. If they're going to be changing these that often, then we're going to have to include new lighting system each time we buy a car. So talking with Mike, the other thing that we might do is we have some cars, and I've done it already a couple of times, that, you know, even though they're up in the, you know, so miles wise, hanging on to them if we're not putting money into them, and putting them off in a year or two. And, you know, it might be that 1 year we get stuck at buying two if we're getting rid of them at 170,000. And the way cruisers are going now, I know that there are some departments that are, because of this, are keeping their cruisers a little bit longer if they're not dumping money into them. So we're looking at that as well.
All right. Does that, I was just going there. Okay. Travis, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to, on Randy talking about the Municipal bid and all that other stuff, him doing some research on that. I wanted to let you guys know too that I'm probably going to be looking into that for the 550 as well on our end. We don't have anything signed or anything trading it in as a have to or anything. So I'll be researching that as well for our options. Just wanted to let you know.
Great. Marco,
I can help them out if they need help, like just researching or whatever. I'm happy to sit down with you guys.
did you hear that, Travis?
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
I know, like with used cars fetching such a premium these days.
Right.
Probably pays to look at all your options instead of letting the dealer get rich
Definitely.
on it, you know.
Well, the dealer never gave us, and even again, I asked them, they would only give us $2,000-3,000 regardless of what the condition of mileage was. So
Yeah,
that was.
and we've done better just selling them outright.
Absolutely, yeah.
You good with that, Joe? You like the outright sales or our best deals?
Yeah, I do like that idea. Anything we get the most on our vehicles is great.
Okay, great, thanks. Anybody else? Okay, thank you for the update, Randy. Okay. New business, we're going to consider a select board attendance policy. So the select board in the budget that is going to be presented for town meeting has included a $500 across the board increase so that members will make $2,500 and the chair would make $3,000 annually. So there's been discussion about putting together an attendance policy that would mean that you would have to attend a certain amount of meetings potentially to get your full stipend. How does the board feel about that? And if we want to do that, who is willing to craft some kind of outline for that? Sarah?
I'm happy to craft an outline, and I would like to look into what other towns are doing and get some sense of, you start from that point and use some other towns' models.
I don't even know if any have
Well,
models,
that's
so,
part of the research.
yes, yes. Yes, Dan,
What brought this about?
the increase in our pay.
Did the public ask for this?
There's been public comment about this, yes. And this would, as long as we're continuing to Zoom, I'm guessing that the policy would include Zoom attendance as fully attending a meeting.
That would be my belief if I were asked.
Scott or Joe? Any comments?
I have no comments on that.
Okay,
I'm just going with whatever Sarah's idea is good to look if there's anything else out there, but yeah, there might not be anything to go by.
so, okay, thank you, Sarah. If you could put together, just basically a rough outline.
Mhm.
Thank you. It'd be nice to have that basically, at least in a nearly final draft form for town meeting. if
Yes,
we can do that.
absolutely.
So, do you think you can do that by next meeting?
Mhm.
Very good, thanks. Okay, the next is consider a letter of support for Wyndham Solid Waste. And Sarah was so nice and drafted a letter. Jeanette?
Yes,
Don't you think we should put this on letterhead? Town of Dover?
oh, I can, sure.
Okay. But we want to get this in
It needs to
fairly
get
quickly.
in this week, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe I don't know, if we could.
I can copy it onto letterhead if you want.
Okay, that works,
Sign
that
it,
works,
yeah.
that works.
What's the header? How big is the letterhead?
She can scoot it down a little.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty,
I'll make it work, don't worry.
I'm sure.
We have faith in you.
So did all board members read this letter that Sarah drafted in support of Wyndham Solid Waste? They're going after a grant. And so they're looking for towns who are in the waste district to support their application for the grant, basically. Everybody have a chance to read that?
I didn't read how long, but I read the request from.
It's basically,
The letter's just a reworking of the request.
Yeah.
Just move the facts around a little bit and call it.
Okay.
Okay, I read it now.
So does somebody, if there's no comments or questions about that, does somebody want to make a motion that the board sign this?
I make a motion that the board sign the letter of support for Wyndham Solid Waste Management District for their grant application.
I second it.
10 seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Joe, thumbs up.
Bye.
Thank you. So Joe and Scott, Joe, when are you back?
Not until Monday.
Scott, can you stop in and sign? Okay. We may have to let it go with just 4 signatures on it.
Jeanette, do you have a file with Joe's signature?
No, but I could probably forge it pretty easily.
That's
Joe,
fine, just rubber stamp it.
Yeah.
Rubber
I didn't
stamp
say
it.
that out loud, but yes. Yeah, I think, because I think it's due by, I don't know if it's the end of
Voting
this
in the
week.
affirmative.
Yeah. So, but Scott, if you could stop in and sign that, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, and now we have the reappointment of Peter McDonald as an alternate to the Planning Commission. So, do I have anything in here?
His term expired, so he needs to be renewed. Is that right, Jeanette?
Yes, and I neglected to do that when we appointed Patrick. And Peter did send me an email
Yep.
expressing his interest in retaining that position. So,
And he's on vacation.
he's on vacation, yeah.
So, but he has said, yes, I will continue serving as an alternate member of the Planning Commission.
So I make a motion that we reappoint Peter McDonald as an alternate to the planning commission.
Second,
Seconded by Dan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
Very good. All right, we're gonna move on to economic development. Consider that you, and so Eric and Shannon are with us. Consider using standard loss provision for ARPA money.
Okay, so I made it pretty clear in the email that I sent to you guys with some creative letter coloring and bolding and all caps as to which part of the VLCT video to watch that covered using the standard loss provision with the ARPA money to, number one, expand the amount of options we have with how that money is spent. Basically, by using the standard loss provision, we are eligible to use this for any service that would be paid for normally by the town. Basically, the main rules with doing it this way are if it's not something you would ask your taxpayers to pay for, don't spend your money on it. Anything you would potentially be asking your, taxpayers to pay for, you can spend your money on it. So it really opens it up. It also makes my life in terms of reporting exponentially easier. And I would greatly appreciate if that was the case with the ARPA money. So you'll notice at the 8:41 mark of that video, the presenter does say, it doesn't matter if you show not even $1 of loss because of COVID, still use the standard loss provision.
As long as your ARPA money is under 2 million.
10 million.
We are 10 million.
10
And we
million.
are.
Luckily, we are just under that. So it would be my recommendation to you guys, again, as I said in the email, it's not required that the select board takes a vote. However, VLCT considers it best practice so that if there's ever a question as to why this decision was made at any point, we have a record of it. So it is my recommendation per the VLCT, per the Treasury, that we go ahead and use that standard loss exception with the ARPA money.
Any comments? No? Any comments from the public? Okay, so does somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we consider using the standard loss provision for ARPA money.
Second,
All right, seconded by Scott. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay. That was unanimous. Okay,
Okay.
next up is the events sponsorship program for the 2022 Blueberry Festival.
Okay. So you have the application in front of you. Bethany from the chamber has joined us, as well as Janet, who is a longtime organizer, creator of Blueberry Festival. The event you see there is similar to the one proposed in 2020, but with expanded activities, kind of tightening the range of travel for our visitors along the trail. It kind of, instead of going all the way down to the silo, because of the time change, we decided that we were going to pull that back in and go from Dot's parking lot down to the town offices there. Shannon and I are in full support of the application. We think that the time change and the change of event type would be a shot in the arm. Technically, this would be the second year of this event because it's what was approved for last year. Although with the COVID restrictions, it was not, they weren't able to pull it off exactly as it had been written up. So the idea this year is to make it bigger and better and bring more visitors in. So Shannon and myself are in full support. And if you have any questions, by all means, like I said, Bethany and Janet are here on the line with us.
the proposed date.
The proposed, do you know the date? It's on the 24th
8th.
Yeah, it's a Saturday of the beginning of the Blueberry of July,
It's July 30th.
July 30th.
Thank you.
The festival runs from the 29th through August 7th. Any other questions? Sarah?
Is there not a parade anymore? Janet, your mouth is moving, but you're muted.
It seems as if families are embracing the activity level of what we did last year. They all enjoyed teddy bear picnics and touch-a-trucks, and people could walk on the Valley Trail and visit the restaurants. It seems to be in looking towards the future, a little bit of our new norm. And we thought if we shifted the hours just a little, they really could enjoy the day at the lake or whatever they want to do, hiking, and then finish their afternoon, early evening in Dover, which we felt would bring more of an economic boost to Dover.
Thank you.
So I'm sure I read this. Aren't the hours like 4 to 8?
Correct.
Correct, okay. Any other questions about the Blueberry Street Fair? So the request for money is, and I know it's in here, 13,000. What's the number, Shannon?
13,250.
15,250. So if there's no other comments, can I get a motion for that?
I move to authorize the Economic Development Department to provide, to give 13,000, I'm scrolling frantically here, $13,250 to support the Blueberry Street Fair on in the last Saturday in July.
Second.
Anything else from anybody? Hearing nothing, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Unanimous. Okay, thank you. Thank you for showing up, Jana and Bethany.
Thank you, Vicky. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for making it possible for us to see you guys. I've enjoyed watching you on TV.
Oh, you poor thing.
It's wonderful, but thanks for the extra effort. All righty. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Next, we have a Trails and Rec Committee appointment of David Yeagle.
Okay, so this happens anytime one of our organizations who hold a seat on the committee have to change their representative. We've done it with SOBTA and we've also done it with Stump Jumpers. The Mount Snow representative, Brian Donovan, who was previously a part of the committee, is no longer employed by Mount Snow, so they have replaced him or would like to replace him with their employee, David Yeagle. So I would need a motion and approval to replace Brian Donovan on the Dover Trails and Rec Committee with David Yeagle.
And I think David attended the last meeting, if I saw that correctly, as just for informational and so he could get up to speed, right? So
And
that's
actually had some great input as well.
great. So does anybody have any comments or questions about this change of appointment?
I move that we appoint David Yeagle to the Mount Snow seat on the Trails and Recreation Committee.
Second.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Unanimous again. Okay, finally, Trails Committee recommendation for the Deerfield Valley Stump Jumpers Hathaway Trail funding request.
Okay, so this is the first application to come through our Trails and Rec process docs. It is Mike Garber on behalf of the Deerfield Valley Stump Jumpers coming back to talk about the originally granted $10,000 to make drainage repairs on Hathaway Trail. The application has been reviewed by our department and would be recommended from our department. It has been reviewed by the Dover Trails and Recreation Committee and is recommended by them as well. With a side note that this decision, whichever way it goes, is in no way, shape, or form indicative of the uses, the finalized uses of Hathaway Trail. The user groups that will be allowed or welcome on Hathaway Trail is a discussion that is much larger than this one and will take up some pretty serious time. However, in the interim, it's the opinion of our office as well as the Trails and Recreation Committee that these drainage repairs do need to be made on this trail for usability, year round. We appreciate the stump jumpers taking on the work to get it done because most of the issues with the mud come from our summer users in the form of hikers and bikers, getting stuck in those mud pits and losing shoes and whatnot. So it is our recommendation that we would move forward with the funding of the repairs, and our office would be working closely with Mr. Garber and Deerfield Valley Stump Jumpers as the project commences to make sure that all the other guidelines for approved projects are met.
Mike, do you want to say anything? Does anybody else want? Sarah?
So I asked you this and the other because it was confusing to me in the budget, the way you have the budget written. You said that the total costs were $27,360, but the money that for Hathaway that hasn't been spent yet is $11,550, right?
Correct.
Okay. So because when I said that's it was confusing to me to have the two mixed together, kind of.
Let's be clear again.
Okay.
That 3 years ago, this committee gave me permission not only to fix Hathaway, but to fix C100, which stems from North Branch Fire District all the way out to Somerset, which is a 12-mile stretch. And they also gave me permission to redo Windy Hill, which is an offshoot pathway that goes down to the saloon. So money has already been spent on the Dover trails in the last few years. We're trying to complete the project with the last portion being Hathaway, and we feel Dover's input would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Any other questions of Mike or Eric or Sarah's a representative on the Trails Committee? Any other questions from the public? Tabby.
So the repair work and the other stuff that was been done, is that still good for this season? Or, you said on C100 and the other pieces, has that held up? Or will that have to be revisited anytime soon?
That's held up pretty well so far. That's work that, again, hasn't been done for 20 years. We hope for this work to hold up in most of the places, except for the mud pits, which we may or may not repair depending on how the decisions go on the usage.
Oh, thank you. That's nice to know that the effort will stand. Thank you.
Just for information's sake, so you said that the work that you did already, what hadn't been done for about 20 years. And so how long has it been since Hathaway has had any work done on it?
Well, we rebuild the bridge every 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
So the bridges are always maintained,
Right.
but it's really the culverts. You have metal culverts in there that need to come out, replaced. There's water running down the middle of the trail that will just erode the trail as we go forward. So this is maintenance that happens hopefully once every 10, 20 years.
Right. I'm just trying to I'm not a trail guy, so.
When it was done last, Travis might know when somebody was up in there or his predecessor did any work up in there. We haven't gone in there with excavators for 20 years.
Okay. So are you going to replace metal with metal or metal with plastic?
Plastic.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing nothing. I need a motion to for the Deerfield Valley Stump Jumpers Hathaway Trail funding request.
I make a motion that we approve the $10,000 request for trail maintenance and repair from the Deerfield Valley Stone Jumpers.
Second.
Anything else? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Aye.
okay. That would be unanimous too. Scott, you gave it a thumbs up? Yep, okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Eric. Anything else from the Economic Development Department?
Just to reiterate, so at this upcoming trails meeting and future trails meetings, we will be continuing that discussion on the user groups on Hathaway Trail. So if you or anyone you know is a stakeholder or interested in being a part of said discussion on Hathaway Trail and its potential uses, please contact me or attend the May 11th trails meeting. We moved to Wednesday, May 11th.
Because of pre-town meeting.
But contact me or attend that meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're moving on to the Board of Liquor Control.
I make a motion, we go into the Board of Liquor Control.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Unanimous. We have a request for a second-class license for the Hermitage Inn Vermont LLC.
I make a motion that we approve the second-class liquor license for the Hermitage Inn Vermont LLC.
I second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Make a motion that we come out of the Board of Liquor Control.
Second.
Scott, when you come by, can you also sign this liquor license too?
Yes, no problem.
Thank you. All right. Did we vote to come out of the Board of Liquor
Yes, we
Control?
did.
Yes, okay. We have the consent agenda, which is minutes from April 5th. I am going to abstain from that.
Motion to approve the minutes of April 5th.
Second.
Any changes, corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Scott, give
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
so 4 in the affirmative and I have abstained because I was not at the meeting. We need to approve the warrants of April 16th for the amount of $139,415.39.
That's that. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So make a motion that we approve the warrants of April 16th for $139,415.39.
I second it.
You guys haven't seen the warrants, Scott and Joe, so, Scott, you want to look at the warrants when you come in too?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, so we're gonna vote to approve these provisionally until Scott has had a chance to look at them as well. Okay, that work? So somebody want to make, did you make?
Motion to approve that, yes, and then I'll amend it to subject to review and approval by Scott Sally.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have FYIs. We have the planning commission meeting on April 25th at 6:30 PM. We have pre-town meeting at the Dover Town Hall at 6 PM. Are we planning to Zoom that?
I was going to ask exactly that question. We did not Zoom pre-town meeting last year, or
Okay.
the last time we did it. Do we want to, or
Well, we won't be Zooming town meeting.
no?
Okay,
No, so Mount Snow is not Zooming
We-
town meeting?
no,
Okay.
No, we can't.
we don't Zoom. I mean, they can't participate.
No.
We could video it and
For the
show it
archives.
for the archives, but we can't have participation at that type of meeting where there's voting going on. What do you think, Jeanette?
Yeah, that's correct about town meeting. We can't do Zoom for town meeting. People can't vote online, but
But to record it for the archives?
Yeah, I mean, we could record it.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. And we didn't do it for pre-town last year?
No,
No, we didn't.
no.
No? Okay.
I don't
Um,
think so. But for pre-town, don't we need to have people there in person?
Yes,
So,
Linda,
Are there any contested races this year?
I've heard of none.
no.
No, Jeanette is saying none.
I could see if there was contested, if somebody was speaking to that, their proposed seat, that it could be zoomed, just to give people an opportunity to hear that.
Since we're probably, there may not even be that. So the people who are up for election this year are Sarah and Joe, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and they are running unopposed. So, I mean, it's a lot to get the Zoom going up at the town hall. I mean, we didn't do it last year, so.
Can we just straight record it? So if
we
somebody
can,
wants to
I
watch
can
it?
bring up, one camera and one microphone and just record it.
I think recording is good. And then we can put it up on YouTube and then people can see it if they want to. Anybody else have a comment on that?
I think that's good. I think it's a good compromise.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'll get that set up.
So everybody should refamiliarize themselves with the budget
God,
because
it's been a while.
it's been a while. But we have a time.
Excuse me, so for the town meeting, are we going to record that as well? And will Mount Snow be picking up the recording on that, or?
I don't know the answers to that, but Jeanette has her hand up. Jeanette?
Yes, and I'm just looking back on the minutes and we did Zoom a pre-town meeting last year.
Did we have people who asked questions?
There was about 10 people on the Zoom. Well, that's probably, yeah, because we did have a contested race last year as well, so. But it was available via Zoom, so.
I can set that up, I mean, so.
Yeah, it gets a lot more complicated trying to run a pre-town meeting with trying to look at the people and then trying to look at I prefer to frankly just record it and then anybody who's interested, there's a week to look at it if they're interested. Dan?
I agree.
Scott, what do you think about that? And Joe?
It's fine with me.
Okay.
Sure, it works out fine. Let people see it.
I think I heard the sure. Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Okay, so we'll record both. Okay. And then the Trails and Rec Committee meets on Wednesday, the 11th at 6:30, which is not their normal meeting time. And then the town meeting is at 10 o'clock on May 17th at Corinthia Base Lodge.
Yay.
Do I have any liaison reports? Okay. So we're going to need to go into executive session for personnel with Linda and Marco. So
I motion to go to executive session at 7:09.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to stop the recording.